Okay, no doubts. Right? No doubts, right? I am getting into new topic today. No doubts, right? All right. Guys, try to join before 7:15. Every day I was reminding you. But you are always joining late. Even after the class also, I was getting some notifications from the students. They wants to join even after the class. They are that much sincere. Even they want to listen the class after 8:30. They're joining the class after 8:30. Guys, why we use randint? 429. Turn on your mic, please. What are predefined modules? Number 429. Turn on your mic. Guys, try to turn on your mics when I ask you. Or else it will be marked as absent in attendance list. I'm telling you again and again. Even you have internship marks, just remember it. We have discussed about calendar random variable, right? Yesterday, random module, right? Keyword is already predefined. I showed you already how the keyword list will be displayed. And by using those keyword lists like keywords which are already predefined, we'll be using them in the code. In the module we'll be using those keywords. Just like we have used random in random module, just like we'll be using the keywords which were already defined. That is 35 keywords are there, right? True, false. User defined code, I have already shown you how to get the new code, old code into the new code. How to how to get the module from get the old module to the new module. How to import. I have shown you, right? Next, predefined module. I have shown you this calendar module. With keyword list, I already have shown you. If you want, I can show you again. Every day, this became a big issue because I was fed up with always shouting at you, always screaming at you. I don't want to do that. Whenever I ask you questions, you will not respond. You will go on shouting after when I was telling the class. These kind of behavior, I can't take it. I told you many times. If you wanna show this kind of attitude, show to your teachers who are teaching in the classes. You will be getting the required consequences. You'll be facing lots of consequences if you can't change your behavior. If you have this kind of behavior, you can't survive on the outside world. I'm not here to motivate you or guide you. Remember. 4R3. I can't tolerate this kind of behavior. Yesterday also I have seen the same kind of behavior from that guy, and even now I was seeing the same behavior from that guy. I'll be keeping him in the block list. He may ask him to talk to his coordinators or whoever it is, authorities. I don't want to encourage such guys into my class. If you have doubts or anything, you ping me on question and answer box. I don't want to, like, I'm not gonna give you the mic access, and I don't want to get into problems. I don't want these kind of disturbances always. So let's get into the class. This number is, before that, let me check something. Okay. We have seen about the keyword list also. I'll be showing you. I think it's waste of time rather than showing you. I have already told you many times, right? Code of keyword list. So I hope there's no need of explaining the keyword again. Built-in function. I have already told you. User-defined function. This even I have told you, but I'll be telling you again how we use user-defined functions. Let's get into ideally first. Creating an user-defined function, right? This is what we want to. This was the first topic of the class, right? User-defined variable like functions can be any kind of things, rather than the already which is considered which Python already includes, like keywords, calendars, random things, or these kind of except these kind of things which the user gives the input were taken as the user defined, which were created by the user can be taken as the user defined functions. For example, today we'll be taking x equals to some sort of 56. Next, y equals to some sort of 6. I want to get print addition on the addition of, that is, a plus b some kind of division on division, where that is a minus b. I want to get them printed and be run. Sorry, division, right? We must save the code first before running. I'll be saving to first module. It's not defined. Sorry, x. I'll be taking them as a. You can see here we got addition as 62 and division as 9.3. Well, what we do is we'll be declaring a new user defined variables to this. Like we'll be using we have user defined keywords, predefined keywords. In the same way, we'll be using like the in that way we'll be doing we'll be using it in the module also. Same way we'll be using in the modules. You got it, I think. We can even give multiple of instructions to it to get the required values. We'll be getting all the values which were required to fulfill some kind of projects or any kind of code or something. We can give as many as requirements to the program, like to the program. So console will be showing you the results. In the same way, they have written some other code for this, like by using some different values. Before defining the function, let's know what is function. Function is said to be like which is a collection of assertions, that is where it is like mathematical. It can be mathematical or analytical or any operation which can be evaluated is said to be function. Which is used for any kind of operation which we use uh, where we can use for any kind of operation, that is said to be function. So let's see the syntax. Let's see the syntax of functions, where I hope you got what is function, right? Function is said to be the it is an assertion where we use mathematical or analytical or operations is said to be the function. All calculations will be carried out there. Like same as the variable, we'll be writing the functions. We'll be writing the name of the function also. It does not, it starts with underscore or alphabets. It will not be starting with any kind of the letters or any kind of the numerical symbols. Where we require Python functions for intermediate level programming of Python, and they are very easy to use. Like we will be repeatedly creating some code, some block of code, right? In loops, we will be creating lots of, like we'll be creating some same code block for many times, right? In loop. Further, in that case, we'll be using function. We'll be calling the function to reuse the code. That is said to be the function call. We call it as a function call. We'll be calling the function. In that case, where we'll be using the code repeatedly. In that case, we'll be um, calling the function to reuse the code. Where functions may contain different kinds of variables, and also they can be in many, like we'll be using in will be used, they are reusable, right? So that's why we'll be using them then repeatedly. Let's know what are the advantages of functions in Python. Like if we once define the code in Python, like function code in Python, it can be used for, like it can be used for multiple times from any location from the file program. Like if I write function in the starting of this program, then I can use that function in any like after many lines of code also. Even if I was in 100th line of the code, I can use that function in that particular program. Wherever the location it is saved, we can use the function. We can access the function from within the program. If our Python code can be like, what can I tell you? Our Python program can be broken up or divided into some numerous things, numerous tasks, which is divided into numerous tasks. Where code is where we do is what we do is like we'll be assigning some code to the, if we are in a company, we are developing some app data or app program. We'll be sharing the work, right? Even in that cases also, we can use the functions to get the required code, or we'll be using the function for reusable purpose, for code reusability purpose. Even if the code is divided into some parts. Where it has an ability to return as many as outputs. So we want to use many many varieties of arguments, right? So in that case, it will be useful. Like it can return as many outputs as result. In Python program, will be always using a function call. This is the one of the use of functions. Let's know the syntax of function first. As you know this already, F function name will be writing parameters in that. We'll be taking the parameters in this braces, in parentheses. This is the basic syntax of function. Def function name, that is like def will be writing some, will be defining a function name as value or some kind of any kind of words, like even it is a, like even my name, anything you can be defined as a function name. So that should be sorry, that should be defined with um, underscore or alphabets, that is lowercase or uppercase alphabets should be used to write a function name. We call it as definition function. We call function as definition function, where we'll be writing a function name. Function name is the, like the name which we used to call the particular function. So that the function name will be unique. So we'll be calling the function by using that particular name which you have given to the function, which you have given to a particular function. That name would be called in the function call. That will be distinguishing, like that will be making different from one function to another. So it is like if my name is Sudha, so I'll be calling that function. If I take Sudha as a function name, if I take Sudha as a function name, I'll be calling it as, like I'll be calling it, if I want to call a function, I'll be calling simply, I'll be writing Sudha. Then it will be that code will be repeated. This is how we use a function call. As I already told you, like we'll be using parentheses to give the parameters. Inside the parentheses will be giving parameters. Got it? And we'll be ending it with the colon, where we'll be ending the function header with the colon. I think syntax is clear. Like I have already told you, indentation will be there in Python. We'll be we'll be getting the indentation functions, where one indentation is said to be 4 spaces. If you want to give one indentation, that is one indent is called as like 1, 2, 3, 4. If we give 4 spaces, then it is said to be one indent. For every step will be follow, if we follow indentation for every step will be giving only 4 spaces from the from the position of the previous generated code. Let's look at the example now. For a user-defined function, this syntax for defined functions, right? Let's look at the example for user-defined function. Comments will not be considered by the compiler, as I have already told you. I was defining a function now. I was taking function name as square. Square. What I want to give? I want to give a argument to it. Where is it? Okay. Function name as square. I want to give that a parameter, right? That is I want to give number. Will be closing it with I'll be writing with hash function because it will be printed if we run the code. I'll be removing this, or else I'll be giving some kind of triple quotes so that it is considered as comment. Now the square is number, so I want to square one kind of number. I want to I want some return value. I'll be writing some return value. Return number two. I want the square value. So object would be so I was defining the object equals to object equal to square. I was giving the number as some sort of 6. I want to print guys, don't log out, like don't get out of the class and don't again join, guys, because it was really quite disturbing. Only for few people will be like disconnecting due to signal issue, but in that case I will be allowing, but always doing the same thing was not acceptable. Okay, object equals to square. I want square of 6. So print of the given varies this is the code we will use for defining the function. I'll be running this. After validation addition. not defined. That is we have taken num, right? I just written number. Let's execute now. You can see the square of the given object is given number is object. I want to print it as the square of the given number is object. So it got printed. This is how we get the output. Guys, I hope you got it. If we want to get the number printed, we'll be closing the quotation marks here and we'll be getting the particular number. It's just printed as a string. We'll be closing this and now we'll be getting the object. It's clear, I hope. We got printed as 36 because square of 6 is 6 6 are 36. If we want the square of 64, we'll be running this program again. We'll be getting as 4096. You can check it, guys, if you want. It will be printed even if I want some 987, some kind of really many numbers output. I want to run it. You can see here. Even the number is how much largest number if we enter, we'll be getting the result. This is how we'll be writing the code for, we'll be defining the function with parameters. If I give 2 into 2 as parameter, like num into num, we'll be getting as some sort of 4. Right. I hope it's clear. Guys, is it clear? Is it clear? Just give me a hand raise or a thumbs up so that I can understand is it clear or not. Okay. Everyone is okay with the concept? I am not getting any kind of responses. If you have any doubt in the syntax, just tell me, I'll be explaining again. All right. I'll be checking my question box. If anyone message me. Okay, no one. Is clear for everyone, I hope. Next, let's see function calling concept. I'll be deleting this program, guys. If anyone wants, you can note this. If you wanted to note this, I'll be keeping it like this here, or else I'll be taking it off. Shall I keep it or can I take a new screen? There will be a little disturbance, guys, because it's raining, right? taking it. I'll be deleting it. Let's call the function. Let's write a program for calling function. Function. For function calling, what we do is we'll be using def keyword, right? To give a specific name, we'll be using the def keyword. So where def keyword will be using for like to organize some sort of code. If the framework of a if the fundamental framework is completed, we can use that function in anywhere of the program by just calling the function by its name. Let's see the example how we can call the function. Example code where I was writing. First, what we do is it was common to every code. We'll be defining a function that is taken as some sort of string. We'll be defining it as a function. So I want the length of a particular function, that is string. So what I write is return. I'll be writing comments because it is better to understand. It is really better for you to understand, right? This value of length of this prints the value of string. Next, I want to length of the string. Now what we do will be calling the function. Till now what we done is we have defined a function. Now let's call the function. The function we define. We have defined a function and we'll be calling that function. So print length of string function is what is the function name? A underscore function. We have taken a underscore function as the function name, right? So function of functions. I want this to be printed. Next I want to print this. What I want to do is print the length of string in Python. Length of string Python. String is, I was taking string as Python is a function that is Python. If I want to take, I was taking these functions and Python to get the length of these strings. Let's see what we get the length. Already we have seen this length concept. Already we have seen the length method, right? You can see here function length is 9 and Python length is 6. Length is nothing but the number of letters in particular string value. You can see it is 6, here it is 9. In function it is 9. If I write something, I just call it. What I done here, This is what I have written, right? Print the value of length of string. That length of string function I have written here. What we have defined the function value, I have called here as here with a by using that particular name, that is a function, a underscore function, a underscore function. I want to calculate the number of words in particular word. I want to get some AMBEST or America. Let me take America. Let me take here as winter. Let's see. You can see here America was printed as the first, a string length is printed as, first function is printed as 7, where length of the string of Python is printed as 6. Are you getting me? Like it has already taken them as Python and function. In that place you can write any kind of, it is automatically taking it as that thing, a Python or function. If I write school here, what it prints? Let's see. Let's run the program and see what it prints. You can see school is consisting of 4 letters. Length of the Python string Python is 4. It has printed already. We have declared them, right? Function previously, so it is taking the same value. So the value remains the same. It is like America. It is 7-letter word. This is how we will be calling the function. Now let's get into some other concept in functions. That is, if anyone want to note it, you can note this code. So it will be useful for you, or you can take a screenshot. It will be useful for you while you are coding, while you are practicing the code. I'll be doing like one of the concept of functions. We have two values, that is passed by function, passed by reference and passed by value. We have those two concepts in this. Like how we'll be passing them with the reference and how we'll be passing them with the value. This is the concept of this particular concept, that is passing the passed by reference Guys, just remember, you will not find these concepts which I was telling you. You can't find these concepts in this depth in any kind of YouTube channel. I was telling you before, because I have seen from YouTube channels, right? I never gone through these concepts when I was learning. I have learned it personally. So these are the, no one will be teaching you these steps. I hope so. In case if anyone are there, maybe I haven't seen them. It's my fault. But I haven't find any of them teaching in this depth, in this, like teaching these concepts. I want to check this code, pass by reference and pass by value. What we do is in this code, what like in Python programming, what we do is we'll be using a reference. Like if we take A as a reference, A equals to B, we are taking. So A as a reference and B as the code, right? B as the value. This is how we'll be taking the reference. In Python code, we will be using Python program. Will be all parameters, like if string here, string is a parameter which is passed by using a reference, that is function. This is how we'll be defining the reference. So now let's see the example. We'll be defining the function. I'm sorry. We'll be defining the function. No, of this. I'll be simply writing the code. We'll be defining the function. That is defining who was that? I'm not gonna let him in lobby. Wait in lobby. Enter him into class. Would be my mistake because they are coming very late. Defining square. I was taking it as a name of the function as square. Square of, I'm giving the parameter as item. What we should do is we should always end the first line of the function with colon. So what we do, this function will find the square. Already we have seen this code. No worry. Square of items in the list. How will we defining the list? Which braces will be using? Will be using braces, right? Wait. Square is equals to, we'll be using square braces. So I have taken square braces for the list. First, now we'll be writing per loop. First, I hope you are clear with the loops. L in item list. L is in the item list. You never change, huh? Okay. For L in the item list. We'll be taking square dot append. What is append? Any guess? Already I have told you this concept, append. Thing is nothing but simple as adding or inserting. Was on the root of where I need to return square. Return squares. So now we'll be calling the function. This code will be a little hard to understand, but I hope I'll be making you to understand the code. Once if I after writing the code, I'll be explaining you again. Calling the define function. Now already defined a function, right? That will be calling here. I list equals to I was taking some numbers in the list that as 56, 72 and 9. Sorry, I'll be taking these numbers as numbers in the list. And my result would be equals to, how my result should be, I was telling it already. My result should be square, because I was calling the, and I'm telling it that my result equals to square my list. My list should be my result. So I want to print squares of the list squares of the list are my result. Where it should be my result, right? We will be getting the squares of the results. Yeah, sorry, I haven't assigned it with sorry. This is string letter. I want to close it with this is how squares of the list are given. 3136 was the square of the particular list. Got it? Squares of the list is 3136 are the particular squares of the list. What we did here, is we have defined the function as square, and we have defined that we have given the parameters as item list, where square equals to square braces. We have taken for L in item list. In item list we are taking L, So for that particular item list will be what we have done. This is the square, so it will be printed same. Was checking whether it may print different or something. Okay. What we have done is we have defined the function and we have given the by using the for loop we have appended some values, that is L mm, L star star 2, that is we want to get some square value of particular list. So we call the function that we have defined it. We have called the defined function, that is my list with the name with the variable that is my list equals to 56, 72 and 9. My result equals to square my, that is square of my list. Here we gonna print square of list are my list. I want to get it printed as my list. This is how we'll be getting them printed. If I give it semicolon or colon, how it goes? Let's see. Let's run this. There's no change. We got the 56 square plus 76, 72 square and 9 square. Values as 3136. This is what we got the result. Squares are the result. Squares of the list are 3136. It has printed. This is how we'll be calling the. Will be like. This is how we'll be getting the values. Like what we will be passed by the reference and passed by the value is. This is how we'll be getting. We'll be passing by the references that item list and we'll be getting the value by using my list. This is how this is the difference between the both the reference and passing of the value. It's clear, I hope. You guys are very talented to get. You are very excited to get attendance, right? Rather than listening to class. You guys want attendance. All right. Is my voice audible? Guys, my voice is audible. Next. Let's see the theory now. I know programming is little boring I think you guys are sleeping because programming will be little boring until you get to know it. You'll be feeling bored of programming. So now for next 15 minutes we'll be carrying out with the definitions or any kind of theory part, some kind of theory part. We have arguments in functions. What are those arguments? Function arguments. There are four functional arguments are there. One is by default arguments. That was the shortcut of arguments. Number two, they are keyword arguments. Keyword. Next, that is required arguments. Next, it is variable length argument. Mostly we have seen variable length argument. I hope so. To know what the variable length argument is, I think. Variable length. Why we use default arguments? Default arguments are nothing but which is taken by default by the compiler or the interpreter will be taking the this argument, default argument by default. Sorry, I think default spelling is wrong. UIT. Which takes the information by default is said to be the default arguments, where keyword arguments are said to be, they are linked to some arguments of a call function. Like you will be calling some function, right? They will be linked to that particular calling function, like call function. That is said to be the keyword argument. Next, required arguments. Like while we are calling a particular function, like we are calling some functions right here, my result, like that. For that, which like we have used some return, these kind of things, right? And also we have used len, right? Those kind of all arguments which are required when we are calling a particular function, which are already predefined or predetermined, that particular arguments is said to be required arguments. Like how many number of arguments are required in particular a method call. A particular method call. Even those number of arguments should be also provided in the define while we are defining the function. The number of arguments which are required for calling a method are even used are even provided to the particular function call or defining the function. This is said to be required functions. Next, fourth one is variable length argument. We can involve some unique characters. Like in this variable length argument, we'll be having some unique characters in Python which are capable to pass many variables, many like concatenations. Like it is some kind of methods. Which these can be accomplished with one or two types of characters. It may consist of one or two types of characters like arguments. For example, it can be arguments or layouts. It can be of it can be combination of one or two characters. Got it? I hope it was clear. Right. Thus, I'll be closing the class within next 2 minutes. I'll be giving you the access. I'll be giving you the access to your mics. If you have any doubts, you can ask me now. Oh. What kind of classmates you have? They are even joining now. But your attendance is recorded. It will be showing how much time you are in the particular session or particular class. I'll be giving you the access. If you have any doubts, you can ask, or I'll be repeating those topics the next day. Guys, any doubts? Make it fast. Guys, do you have any doubts? Anyone? Or any queries or anything? Just tell me before I end the session. Is it all clear? If it is all clear, just give me a thumbs up or just raise your hand. If it is clear, give a thumbs up. If you don't understand, just raise the hand. All right. Guys, you can leave. Thank you.